Hey guys, just another video. Just wanted to give a guide on buying a PGM motherboard. There are quite a few different revisions of the motherboard. Some are better than others. The biggest thing with these boards is they have a rechargeable battery on the older boards, and unfortunately, like a lot of NiCad and nickel metal hydride batteries, they leak and destroy the board, and then the board doesn't work again, to the point where it'll actually eat so many of the tracks that the board just can't be repaired. It's basically a bin job. So this guy here, this is actually a revision 1 board. This is the first revision that IGS made of the PGM. As you can see, all the damage around here, obviously I've cleaned it all off. This is where the battery lives, and it just spews out all over these tracks. Now, unfortunately, when it does that, the board doesn't run anymore. If it's not too bad, you can repair the tracks. I've repaired quite a few boards with it. But this one's pretty bad. You can see it's eaten into the JAMA connector as well. So it's really just, I only keep it as a reference board because it is version 1. Now the version number, you've got to take the red case off, which I've already done, and the cartridge slot holder as well. I've taken that off as well. So you can tell what revisions they are. Once you've taken off the red casing, over here this is the sound chip. You've got some text over here, and it says basically PCB number 133. So 133 is the same for all of them. That's the number for the motherboard, and then it's got -1. Now this -1, that tells you the revision of the board that you've actually got. So yeah, so that's a revision 1. You can see how it's being eaten away. That's the worst bit. The secondary is these caps do actually leak. This one here is really bad. Right near the processor, it'll leak and eat all these tracks around there, and then the same thing, the motherboard won't run anymore. These also do leak in the audio section, but it's not as common. Personally, I'd replace all of them, and I do. So yeah, so that's a revision 1 board. Okay, I'm going to grab some of the other revisions and talk about them as well. So that's a revision 1. So just put him back in an anti-static bag. Now, hopefully, this is a revision 9 board. Okay, so we've come across. Oh, whoops! One thing I forgot to tell you is, if you look at this board closely, you'll see this capacitor here. See how he's to the left of the JAMA finger, where the voltages come in. All the boards that have leaking batteries, the capacitor is there. So when you're buying them, it's better to buy them with the capacitor that's just over here, which I'll just show you in a sec. But I wanted to show you this one because these are the ones not to buy. Now you can see this cap very easily on eBay photos, or anybody who takes a photo of a PGM motherboard. It sticks out. You can always see it. So yeah, so if you're going to buy a board, I'd recommend not buying the board with the cap here, because it will probably have battery damage, or will have battery damage in the future. Okay, so that's that cap there. I'll just grab that revision 9 that I was just about to show you, and the cap has actually moved. It's just over here in the middle. So that's the Rev 1. Now, this is a Rev 9. As you can see, I've still got the red case on it. But here you go here. Here's the cap here. You can clearly see this guy's in the middle of the power finger. He's not over here where the revision 1s were. So when you're buying a board, get the one that's got the cap there. Sometimes these caps get ripped off, but you'll still see the footprint of where it actually should sit. So that's good. So this is a Rev 9. So what I'll do is I'll just pop him out. Come on. There we go. There we go. So case is off. So yeah, so this is a revision 9, and if you come over here, they've moved it to over here. So it says 09. So that's a revision 9. As you can see, still has the rechargeable battery, but if you look at it, there's no track damage because it hasn't leaked a lot. So I personally would get a Rev 9 or newer board because it's less likely to have any damage to it. Hopefully you can see that really well. So yeah, so this guy obviously runs. All I had to do was take the desolder the battery off, clean up all the tracks, but she was, yeah, good to go. Works fine. So yeah, so that's a revision 9 board. So I'll just put him back. Now, Revision 9 still had the rechargeable battery. On the later ones, they go to a coin cell. But what some people do is they just grab a coin cell, take the battery off, and then put a coin cell holder right where the rechargeable battery was. Now, it may fit, but it's not going to work properly because the motherboard is still trying to charge that battery, even though the coin cell is a non-rechargeable battery. So you can actually end up blowing the batteries up. They will leak. So it's just as bad as what you went before. With the NiCad, the nickel metal hydrides leaking batteries. So if you get one and it's just got a holder on it, and there's no protection diode, then you really need to just leave the battery off. The motherboards work fine without batteries. Okay, you don't need to have a battery on there. It doesn't stop the board from running at all. Just cut it off, desolder it, just get rid of it. That way you don't have to worry. Okay, so there's the Rev 9. Put him away in an anti-static bag. Now, this one is... Which one's this? This is a Rev... Okay, this is a Rev 14. This is the one that I recommend that you get. It's one of the newest boards. I've not found any revisions newer than 14. As you can see, the cap is here in the middle with the power connector, so that's all cool. But this one's got a coin cell straight from the factory. So I'll just pop the case off so that you can see. Now, if you have a look in this section here, I'm hoping that the phone is going to actually focus on it. You can see you've got the coin cell holder. That's your discharge switch, which you don't need to play around with. But if you have a look, I don't know if I can get it. Let's see if I can get it to focus in a bit better. You can see the white line, the silk screen. See how it's round? And the tracks here, these are all also different here as well. So this is factory coin cell from the factory. This is the revision to get. If you ask a seller for a Rev 14 or one that has a factory coin cell, this should be what they send you. If you just have the coin cell holder on there, but it's the rechargeable type, you'll have a rectangle silk screen instead of the actual round one. So this is the board to get, the Rev 14. Again, it's over here on the back there. It says -14. On the 14s, they also did it on the bottom. So you've got your 14 just over here. So you don't actually need to take the case off to tell that it's a Rev 14. So yeah, so that's a 14. That's what I recommend you get. This board is perfect. There's no track damage. I've still recapped it. I still recommend that you do that. That's still very important. Now I've got one more board here. Just put Mr. Case back on. Line him up with the slots at the back. There we go. He's all happy and back in. Back in his anti-static bag. Now, which revision is this one? What's this? This is... Okay, this is a Rev 12. Okay. So just under the 14. It's still got feet on it, so I've just got to take the feet off. So if you give me a second, I'll just get these feet whipped off. And then I can pop it open and show you the 12. Okay, those feet are off. 2 more feet. One's off. Last one. Okay, now the screws are probably going to fall out everywhere. There we go. Flip them over. So yeah, so this is a 12. So... Come on, out you come. Now, when I showed you the 14, you saw that it was a round coin cell, and the silk screen was a round coin cell underneath it. This is a 12, and as you can see, it's got the rectangle where the rechargeable battery should be. So if someone retrofits it with just a holder, but it's not actually a 14, you'll still be able to see the rectangle, and so that you'll know. And as you can see, it hasn't leaked a lot. I've just cleaned this one up. You can see there's no track damage at all. I just took the battery off and cleaned it up. So Rev 12s, which there you go there, Rev 12, and it should be underneath. Rev 12 there. Rev 12 is fine to get as well. So a 14 or a 12. I don't have a 13. I don't know if there is a revision 13. If anybody does have revision 13, please let me know. So yeah, guys, so that's basically it. I just wanted to run through a buying guide for them. Thank you for watching.